Good morning guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am coming to you from beautiful Kyiv in Ukraine, and I know you guys really wanted me to vlog while I was here, so I have an idea and I am going to do 10 things that I have loved from living here in Kyiv. We've been here for 5 weeks altogether, and here is a summary of my 10 favorite things. So my number one thing has to be the incredible buildings. Basically every building here is stunning. It's way more like Paris or the Netherlands or something than I expected. So of course there's incredible monasteries, but there's also just beautiful buildings that people live in. So let me show you a few on my commute. Number two has definitely got to be this shop. I don't know if it's Russian or Russian, but it's a Ukrainian chocolate company, I guess similar to Cadbury's in the UK. And I discovered it because an awesome subscriber, Julia, who hopefully is watching, met up with me here and gave me some of their chocolates, ones that have all the Ukrainian monuments printed on them. They were amazing, and I have now discovered the best chocolate. This chocolate, the coconut nougat, so good. It's like a Milky Way crossed with a Bounty. If you're British, you'll know what that means, but it's awesome. Highly recommend coming to check this place out. Has to be a restaurant that we are obsessed with. It's just a chain and there seems to be tons of them in Kyiv, but between 3 and 6 every single day, everything that you order is buy one get one free. It's mostly sushi, but they also have like burgers and pasta and loads of good stuff, and my favorite thing of all, which is chocolate sushi. Also, the menu is entirely pictures, which is very helpful when you're foreign. Guys, is chocolate sushi not the best thing you've ever seen? I might actually have to learn to make this. Today we have come to a crazy gym, which apparently was originally made out of recycled tank. I don't know if that's just a rumor, but I don't know how useful this will be to all of you guys, but if you want to come see somewhere pretty unusual in Kyiv, this gym is pretty amazing. I think actually the real challenge is just working out even what half of the machines do. Some of them have the weights written on, but mostly you're going to be freestyling. Number 5, this area of Kyiv, obviously I can't pronounce it, I think it's Vozdivenka, sorry if that's wrong, but it's like a Disney set. Like all the buildings are incredible. I'm going to show you around. Obviously it's definitely worth doing. It's not particularly far out of town, it's just a little suburb and it is beautiful. So just walking around, it seems generally pretty quiet. It's mostly just people walking around taking Instagrams. There's a few cars, but there's also tons of like Ukrainian designer boutique stores. So if you want to buy some locally made Ukrainian designer clothes, this is a really good spot for it. There's like cute cafes. I just walked past a really good looking vegan cafe. This would be a nice place to come for lunch or something. It's pretty small, there's not a ton to do, but if you want to come for a vegan lunch and to support some local designers, this is your spot. Kyiv is just full of ridiculously amazing churches. I've already talked a bit about all the pastel buildings, but there's also just incredible monasteries like this around every corner. So I'm going to show you this one, which is one of my favorites, where I got some amazing Instagrams because it's all really blue, but there's also a yellow one, the one on the top of the hill that's like kind of pistachio-y, and they're just all incredible. seems to be beautifully peaceful kind of inside the grounds. The only thing to remember is if you want to go in, if you're a woman, you need to be wearing not trousers but fully covered, and even cover your hair, so make sure you bring a scarf or something. Some of them have things you can borrow, but that's just something to note. You want to be respectful, but they're just stunning, and the inside is so ornate, so amazingly gold. There's actually one which has a whole warren of caves underneath, which I think are monks' graves, so you can pray to the monks. You just buy a candle and you follow everybody through the caves. Apparently it's super claustrophobic and like full of people, so that's worth noting, but it's really spiritual and beautiful. Number 7 has to be the co-works. This won't apply to you if you're just visiting as a tourist, but for nomads there is an insane number of co-works, and they all seem to be silent, so it's really amazing for work, not so good for meeting people, and the only downside is that they all seem to be fully booked. There must be so many remote workers here, it's crazy. But the one we found is this one, and we love it so far, so I'll show you around. A little bit random, but the underground malls. Every time you go in an underpass, like to cross the road, it turns out it's this huge warren of malls. So right now, under the ground here is a shopping mall, and I'll take you down, but we can do our whole commute, which is 20 minutes, all underground. Obviously if it's sunny, we do it outside, but yeah, there's just loads and loads of shops underground, and if you go under just trying to cross the road, you can very easily get lost and find that you've walked half an hour across town in the wrong direction. Alright, number 9, bear with me on this one, is McDonald's, but there's a reason, because there is a economical theory called the Big Mac Index, which tells you how cheap a country is relative to the earning potential and the cost of living, and Ukraine has the cheapest Big Mac on the McDonald's index in proportion to income in the whole of the world. So if you come to Ukraine, you have to get a Big Mac and be an economist. So in Switzerland, a Big Mac comes in at $6.80 apparently, and in Ukraine it's $1.60. Hopefully it will be just as good. Last but not least, number 10 is people riding, I don't even know what they're called, maybe it's like hoverboards or mono wheels or something, but those wheels where in London if you ride it everyone is going to look at you like you're crazy, but here everyone is just doing their own thing. You'll almost every day see someone just traveling along on one of them, and especially with those underground malls, it's so convenient. So I love that in Kiev people are just, they're just being them, they don't care. So that is it. 10 things that we've loved about Kiev. We've been so surprised by Kiev. It's been actually very similar to like an up-and-coming Berlin. I feel like it's going to be the next Berlin. There's a really good like dance music scene, lots of alternative stuff, but also it's got the really beautiful architecture, kind of like Paris or Copenhagen or something. So it's been a really crazy mixture, very welcoming. Everywhere we've gone, every palace and beach and bridge has got so much going on. Like you can rent the mono wheels. We saw a guy doing bungee jumping like off a crane. You can jump off the bridges with a rope on, kind of similar to a bungee jump. Everywhere that you go there is a ton of entertainment, and it seems like Ukraine is trying really hard to get the tourists to love the city and keep coming back and recommending it to other people. So that is what we're doing. Everyone's been ridiculously friendly and we have just totally loved it. So if you're looking for a kind of up-and-coming Berlin with the architecture of Paris and Copenhagen, then I think you might like Kiev. I would definitely recommend it. So let me know in the comments if you guys have been before or if you are now adding it to your bucket list. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!